The Floriana mockingbird, also called the Charles mockingbird, as an inspiration for the great scientist theory. And here to talk a little more about Darwin's legacy and work is Dr. Jason Dunlop from Berlin's Museum of Natural History. Thank you for joining us on Tomorrow Today. Now, was the mockingbird really more seminal to Darwin's work than the famous finches?
That's right. People think it was the finches that were important, but it was actually other types of birds which convinced Darwin that evolution really takes place.
Have we begun to get a grip on how many species we share the planet with? The current estimates range from 10 to 20 million.
For some groups, yes. We know, for example, how many vertebrates there are, more or less. But for smaller invertebrate groups, we really don't know what the total number is.
Well, from the millions of species there are out there, we want to take a look at one or two right now. For several months at the beginning of this year, the bicentennial of Charles Darwin's birth, we asked our viewers to send in especially striking pictures of plant and animal species from around the world, just like this spider, which was photographed by Eliza Ickeid in Russia. Now, you are a spider expert. A lot of people, including myself, are terrified of them, but they're actually very important ecologically, aren't they?
That's right. Spiders are one of the main predators of insects, and so if there weren't any spiders, you'd find that the insect population would explode, and we'd have more trouble with things like mosquitoes and other kinds of insects that we really don't want to have.
Well, another great picture we got sent in from a viewer, namely from Wolfgang Prösler in the Philippines, and this is shellfish. What do shells and shellfish have to tell us about evolution?
Well, what's very nice here is you have an accumulation of shells, and you see the same thing in the fossil record. And so these can be millions of years old, but they also tell us then how the climate might have changed. So we can use things like shells to say whether it's got warmer or colder over the millions of years. And with all the question of climate change at the moment, this, of course, is very important.
Now, the last picture we have set up here is actually pretty sweet. It comes from a viewer in Thailand, and it is a caterpillar with a very interesting and striking pattern. Why is it that evolution produces patterns like this?
Well, in this case, this is the oleander hawk moth caterpillar, and basically it's pretending to be a small snake. So it's evolved these so-called eye spots at the front of the head so that it sits there, and when a bird or another possible predator sees the caterpillar, it thinks, hang on, that might actually be a snake, that might be dangerous, and it would leave it alone.
So another way for a species to survive. Well, we've got, as a thank you for all of those viewers who sent in their pictures, we will send you one of our spectacular little Tomorrow Today T-shirts, and just keep sharing with us. All right, now, Jason, last question we have here. The Darwin year is coming to an end. Did you notice its effects at your museum?
Yes, we had a special Darwin exhibition in the museum, and what was very nice is I'm sure we were able then to teach a lot of people who've heard of Darwin but don't really know what his theory was about, that they now have an understanding of what evolution really means.
All right, Jason Dunlop, thank you very much for joining us on Tomorrow Today.